Look, I
I
like
was just
it.
going to text him and tell him to turn it around.
Back to the way it was, or
No, like it is now.
oh, yeah,
I never see him with it backwards, so
it's not.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm discovering the new me.
yeah.
I like it. I like it. We are meant to evolve. All
100%.
right. How are you, Wendy Ellis? Threw me off when I saw it. All right, got a couple more people coming in, but all right. So let's get started here. Pat's coming in. Diane, just gonna give it a minute. I know the 6:45 time kind of rough. We're trying to get dinner in and get ourselves all set up. So, all right, look at Pat rocking the Trilogy shirt. Oh yeah. All right. Well, fill me in before we just jump into content and tactical. Fill me in on either like your 2 week reset, how you're feeling. Let's actually start there. How are we doing with our resets?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I got allergies. Today's August 10th. I'm on day 10. I started August 1st. Still rocking my program, doing my 5-in-1. I had a salad tonight. Then I went to the grocery store earlier today and I got a head of lettuce. I did this all on my own. Head of lettuce, tomato, cucumber, green pepper. I'm in the kitchen chopping it up, measuring, weighing. So I'm on day 10. Haven't weighed since day 7, but on day 7 I was down 6 pounds and
Mm.
down 1 year on my metabolic age and down 1 point on my visceral fat from 9 to 8. So
It's
doing
pretty
well.
significant for 7 days.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 7 days are going to produce.
Good. You feeling any different using the new MetaVantage technology? Are you noticing any difference? Or were you doing a hybrid or no?
No, I ran out of I just got my new shipment in yesterday, I think it was. So I ran out of the reset fuelings and I had to do before yesterday I had to do two of the old fuelings. So it's like 90, what is that? 99% reset fuelings. Nah, but now I got all reset fuelings and I got enough for a while and I just placed another order this morning.
Good.
But I heard on that call last night, people saying, "Oh, it shut off the food noise and it shut off the cravings." It hasn't shut off the food noise for me,
Mm.
but I've dealt with sugar addiction my entire life and cravings my entire life, so I don't expect that to happen in a week. Now, maybe a month or two, maybe it will, but not right now. It hasn't.
And it might be something you just have to continue to use your skills, your mental flexibility to get around it because, it's like so hard to know with all that. Is it true hunger? Is it mental hunger? Is it habitual hunger? Resistance hunger because we don't want to be confined to doing this. It can be so many different things.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, so far so good. I'm gonna go until the 14th, which would be 2 weeks. Then we got a birthday celebration that weekend, which is this upcoming weekend. I'm not going to be compliant on that. I just already made up my mind. But then after that, I'm going to make a decision. Do I go in another 2 weeks or, what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the important thing is to adopt the mindset. It's always how I always coach my clients is what would a healthy person do? Right? Somebody who doesn't battle sugar addiction or, is really navigating their health well. Doesn't mean that they never have a piece of cake. Doesn't mean that they are always perfect and eating in line with their goals. It is how quickly we recover. How quickly do we get back on track and making decisions in line with our goal, not even recover. Like how quickly do we get back to making the decisions in line with our goal? Dieting mindset waits till Monday. Dieting mindset, all of that. Whereas Dr. A has always taught us what matters is what we do in the next 3 hours. The
Yeah.
next decision, the next
And,
best.
and that's the way I'm leaning, D. The birthday celebration is on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, and I'm already leaning toward Sunday, right back on the train. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool. Be interesting to see what your body tells you after too.
I know, I don't know.
Like not feeling good. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna struggle through that first 3 or 4 days of fat burning out again, or will it just, I don't know, because it's been so long since I've done this. So, But I mean, the programs works. It just flat out works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I always tell my clients, the higher the high, the bigger the drop. Right. So, people that are like, oh my God, I got to eat everything in the house before I start this thing on Monday. Well, then they're so jacked up and so much extra glycogen in their body. It takes a while to get back. If we do the slower bump of just a slight increase and then we get right back on, go for a walk, do a little workout, burn out some of that glycogen, you can get back into fat burn quicker.
Yeah.
That's,
And it's only one birthday celebration, one meal on
Mhm.
Saturday. So it's not like it's an all day event.
Yeah,
So I think I'm gonna be fine.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Who else? Talking about the reset. What has it done for you? Especially what is it? Let's talk about what's it done for you in terms of posturing, um, to be able to go out to be sharing Triloby. How's that impacted you? Vicky?
I'll go. I'll
Yeah.
go. Um, I've been really hesitant to post anything for a really long time. And I think it got in my head that I had some clients that kind of came back and then crashed and burned because they weren't losing as quickly, they weren't getting the results, and it was like that merry-go-round. They were flying in and flying out. So not that I question like, does this still work? Like, is this like still the thing? But um I don't know. I still, these many years later, still have that angst. But I have loved these last 2 weeks. I mean, I shared a little bit at the meeting on Saturday. I have loved these 2 weeks. I have data with my glucose monitor. I have data with my feelings. I have data with my hunger or lack thereof. I've got data on the scale. And I'm like, I didn't even take measurements because I thought I'm already at a healthy weight. I really have nothing. Like I'm not going to have anything to show. Like I'm not going to be that big transformation. So I'm just going to deal with it. If the scale tells me something, I'll post it. And I should have taken measurements. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I didn't even know about that Renfo thing that you had. But like today, I saw somebody post, and I copied it. And it's so funny because I liked it because I wanted to go find it. And then she friended me, another coach somewhere. And so I said, can I steal? And she said, yes. I don't know if you think you commented, D, like I created that thing with all my data. And I've already had people like, normally I get crickets and I've already had people comment. And I don't know, for me, it's just given me confidence that even at a healthy weight, you can still tweak some things. Because honestly, my weight is not my concern. It's what's going on inside my body. So I don't know. For me, and what that's done is it's spurred me into action, and I've had a lot of conversations. So anyway,
Well,
I'm feeling good about that because I haven't opened my mouth in a really long time.
that's huge. Huge. And you're not alone, Vicky. I mean, I'll be totally transparent. I mean, I've gone through cycles with wondering, like, is the 5-in-1 the thing? Like, nobody sticking to it. Like, I'll tell myself all kinds of stories and go, on that roller coaster. And I think it's things like events, things like doing your own, getting back on, having your own evidence. And I think sharing our own stories is so important. And I'm just going to give you an example. I track everything with a professional dashboard on Facebook. It even gets some monetization for it. And like last night, I posted just about we were going live. I was excited because it was going live tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. 2 likes on it, right? Nobody gives a rip. Nobody gives a rip that you have new fuel lanes tomorrow, right? Posted my own personal results today. Same thing, Vicky. Like last week when I did it, I think I had like 40 people comment, like conversations start as a result of it, reactivating people, somebody new. And then today, starting the same pattern again. So it's real life stories. And I think taking something like that, my story is similar to yours. I only lost 2.4 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was like, whoop-de-doo. But it's not about that. It was all the numbers behind. So who else?
I'll go.
Stephanie? Yeah.
Yeah, I had started the reset and with 3 college move-ins. So it was really helpful to kind of just really focus on myself because I think, as moms at this stage and dads at this stage, you're just empty nesting, launching your kids and everything else, you kind of forget about caring for yourself. And I really needed a reset. So been posting about that. I had two previous clients contact me and they weren't liking my post or anything. Haven't talked, one of them I hadn't talked to in 3 years, said, texted me and said, I need what you're doing. You're doing a reset. I need what you're doing. So I contacted him and I said, well, tell me about that. Why did you reach out to me? He said, I lost a lot of weight with Optavia. It was working well. I probably didn't do transition well, but it was working well for me. I tried intermittent fasting afterwards, and that worked for me for a little bit. I'm going into all these health food stores. I'm spending I'm spending
It's
a whole
okay.
lot of money.
For family.
And I see everywhere about metabolic health, and metabolic reset. And then I look on Facebook and you have metabolic reset. So I think if I didn't post that, like you were saying, Vicky, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I should post this. But if I didn't post that and like use that terminology and everything that we know, um, he wouldn't have reached out. So, and through him, I've gotten another referral from him. So, that I'm talking to next week. So that's exciting.
That's
Um,
huge.
yeah, but I am kind of reluctant now because I did take some before pictures and I did take those measurements and actually really ashamed of myself, to be honest with you. Have not even posted it in the safe space of the coaches reset one, yet. So, I'll send it to my coach. Meg, you might get those ugly pictures.
And
But
it's up to
anyway,
you. Like
but
I
it's
took some
made it,
bikini pictures for myself because I wanted to
yeah,
see they will not be on the internet. You know,
yeah.
nobody needs to see that. But
But it
I
made
took
a
it for me.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made a difference, losing 4 pounds in the first week. And I didn't do that 5 years ago on Optavia. When I
Mhm.
lost my first 40 pounds. In that first week, I didn't. So it's a big difference. And like you, Frank, I ran out of Trilivy fuelings and I got in my mindset, okay, now it's not going to work. So that was, I'm sure like I got to watch that mindset because it's going to, go off to my clients. So, just with this past college move-in this past weekend, thank goodness for all those essential fuelings. And because I would have been eating at all of, the fast food places that everybody was like grabbing and going and while you're setting up a dorm. But
Yeah.
so it helps. I'll do a true reset when the rest of my Trilogy fuelings come in.
Yeah. And it's totally up to you. I mean, I think it's important that our posturing, right? We used to celebrate pounds lost before, now, and a lot of the physical stuff is really just going on the exterior, where so much of our emphasis now is on the interior and what's really happening. So, pros and cons, because I'm going to contradict myself when I say Ellen Stewart, go look at her flipping post and this girl melting away. Looking like a 40-year-old in your workout clothes. So, a picture can speak 1,000 words, but if like Vicky or somebody like I, if it's not really noticeable, if you don't like it, if it's going to trigger shame, then do what makes you feel most confident. All right. How about you, Ellen?
Yes, thank you so much. That was I felt kind of naked because I'm not one of those people that post a lot like that. But and it was, if y'all hadn't seen it, I've got long, whatever they're called, the long exercise pants. It's just a little shirt, totally covered. But for me, it was like, oh my gosh, because I wasn't wanting to even show my arms. And but I wanted to see for myself, and I thought that I can see. Somebody else might not can tell, but I can tell, and I'm going to post it, and so I did. But I was also going to say, I had a client came a couple months ago, and I had been posting about the metabolic reset, as we all have, and I spoke with her like a year ago, and she said that when she went to a doctor's office, and there was pamphlets about metabolic health or metabolic, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's what Ellen's talking about." And so she said she must be really onto something. So the word, I mean, I was very proud that we kind of led it with that word, and people were they act like they're catching up with us, which makes us, I feel like we're the leaders, which makes me proud. So I think we need to talk it up, talk more about that, because to me, that's extremely important.
Good. Yeah, that's actually a perfect segue. Did anybody else want to share before we kind of move on? Bill?
I can share. I'm not doing a reset. I do the Ascend products. So, but I did buy all the Trilogy products to taste them, and the taste is much improved. So that the taste and texture is a lot better. And so I guess my victory this week is, or the last couple weeks, is I've gained 3 pounds. So I'm at the point where I'm actually trying to gain weight, not lose weight. So I gained 3 pounds, 3 pounds of muscle, and I'm down 1 point in visceral fat, and I'm around 15% body fat from about 17%, rough numbers. So that was a victory, making some progress in the other direction. So good
And
stuff.
that's going to be real important, right? Because we're not supposed to be in the 5-and-1 forever, whatever, looping in the 5-and-1 that many of us has done. So you're going to have a really good, reset, which you can consider your initial weight loss, and then where you were, and then moving into that renew, which is the ultra health, and still
Yeah,
following the principles. And then well done trying. I think we have to try the fuelings. We have to know so that you can speak authentically to them. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's great.
Now I
Good.
do hope they reformulate some of the Ascend, and because I don't love the textures of those, to be honest, but
Mhm.
they work. So,
Yeah.
and I, when I started 5 years ago, I said I will eat dirt if it gets me healthy. So they don't taste like dirt, but they are not the best texture or flavor. But to be honest, in that space, there's not a lot of good tasting anything. So they're better than Builder bars or other things. They're
Mhm.
health wise, they're better, and flavor wise, they're just as good. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good valid point. And I've been really watching prices of those other kinds of bars and stuff like that. And ours are very comparable.
yeah,
It's like, yeah,
yeah,
if you're going to get a good quality one with the balance of macros and all of that. So that is
yep.
good. Good. Well, we are at a pivotal moment, right? We launched today, and we are a small army in terms of the health coach force that we have. The numbers of us in not just our team, but like in general, we're a small army that is moving forward with this. That's why we're looking to, for lack of a better words, recruit to have more with us to take this forward. But it now, I think, is a pivotal time. I was on a leader call. We don't want to miss this opportunity. We don't want to miss the opportunity because what we have previewed and dropped so far has developed curiosity. And yes, we're going to welcome our reactivating clients back. Hopefully, they'll do it differently. Hopefully, they'll become referral sources for it. But to be honest, I think to really grow as an individual business owner and to grow this business, this company, new is the answer. So we really have to be thinking and strategizing about how are we going to do that? How are we going to put our voice out there in a way that lands and is different than what we know doesn't work, which is social media is great for branding, posturing, all of that, but we can't sit back and wait for people to come. It's got to be a combination of the two, our proactive or authentic conversations that happen because we're listening in real life and also with our social media posturing and what we're putting out there. So we went through the exercises, and I think everybody on this call, kudos for doing your why exercise. Your why is your boss, because it's critical. And I don't know about you, and especially the past 2 years, I've been very afraid to write goals down because it felt futile in a lot of ways. But I think now is imperative. So great job. And I really liked your transparency of the reasons why you thought, what was in your way. So if I am not your direct mentor, make sure you send a copy to your mentor as well so that they have it. The other part of the equation was working on a list and having an ongoing list of people to connect with. Maybe Shauna, you want to talk? We did a mentor session after that, and you guys had like a moment of panic around it.
Yeah, because we've been doing this for a while and have been through so many people that we felt like, where are we going to find 100 more people that we don't know to put on a list? And Dee helped us to navigate. Well, we really have thousands of people probably. If we go back and look at all of our not now, not yets, if we look at all of the clients who have been on the program and are no longer on the program, and we have had, I can say this in this space, we've had so many coaches leave our collective big team that we've had hundreds and hundreds of clients bump up to us frontline. So it kind of was like, oh, it's like a brand new day now. We just go maybe tackle our client list, and each of us take maybe 10 or 15 a day, because you get popped if you send out too many texts in one day on an iPhone. And that made me feel a lot better, because I realized, okay, we do have a lot of people that we can put on a list and start maybe approaching. So yeah.
Good. Thanks for sharing. Because that is hard. I think, what are the feelings you get? Let's just, and then just blink if somebody says something that connects. What are some of the feelings you get when you write down a name? What comes up? Anybody can answer.
Rejection.
Fear of rejection.
Like, leave me alone. You've already messaged me before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else?
I don't mind the rejection. I can take a no all day long, or I'm not ready, or anything along those lines. What I hate is the ignoring. They don't even respond to the text. That bothers me more than anything else. I mean, at least say I'm not interested, or I'm doing something else or something, but don't just ignore the text. I think that is so incredibly rude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how can you, from a conscious leadership standpoint, because I think it's super annoying and rude, and there are times I've coached people on our team and offered a mentoring session or offered to connect with them, and then just nothing. And I'm thinking, if Nick Johnson or Dan Bell reached to me, I would not ignore them. Like, how rude. So how can you navigate that? Like, how can we look at it maybe a little differently? Maybe what's going on in their world, and then how can we have it not affect you as much?
Well, I've actually given lots of people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe life got busy. Maybe they're in the hospital. Maybe they're a patient. I actually had a former client text me tonight. Speaking about this, she is in the hospital. She's gonna, I won't mention her name, but she's gonna have a partial hysterectomy probably tomorrow or the next day. But she texted me back in the hospital. So it's these people that don't even text. But I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's why I'll wait, 3 days or a week or 2 weeks and text them again, or 2 weeks, a month later, text them again, and still no response at all. So last week I went on Chat GPT. I have such a hard time with that word, Chat GPT. And I said, what do I do? What kind of message do I send to people that consistently ignore my text? And it gave me, a one sentence verbiage. And so I sent that to a few people, and they still ignored that message. So, you do what you can do.
Yeah. Anybody have thoughts on that? Maybe from the receiving side?
I just think about myself and how many times Dee reached out to me and I ignored her and ignored her and ignored her, but she just kept on coming back. And I also thought about, if you have seen any of my stories, I hate the pool in my backyard. And so I've been talking to some pool companies. And today I've been meaning to text the guy, and I got a message that was like, hey, I don't know if you've already chosen someone, but and I needed his info, but it was like buried in my phone. And so he responded, and I was so grateful. I still haven't texted him back, but every time he texts me, I feel a positive emotion, right? I just need to take action and hire him. But anyways, that's just like another example of something that could be going on in the background. And who knows, with mental health and how much shame people carry, who knows what stories they're telling themselves.
Bill.
I think my profession has helped me in this area. It as a minister, a missionary, and we teach people when they share their faith, you get 100 no's for every yes. And so it's just a matter of every no is just one step closer to finding the right person. So really, a no is just as valuable as a yes. And so I think that's one of the things, because I mean, I could tell you we'd go out on the mission field and we'd talk to hundreds of people a day, and overwhelmingly the answer is no, or or a yes which actually means no, and those are sometimes harder, right? And so it's just a matter of you have to have the mental toughness to say it doesn't matter, because it what I their response isn't a reflection on me. Their response is to the offer, and so I'm not attached to the offer. I'm offering a solution for their problem, whether they take it or not. It doesn't matter. But my job is to keep planting seeds. My job is to keep offering up, and so if I allow myself to get attached to their response, then I stop. But
Mhm.
if I just say, okay, I will find the person. It's a numbers game, right? If I keep going, I will find the person. I just have to keep going.
Mhm. God, that was so valuable. So valuable. And if we refer back to the business blueprint, which we are going to dive deep into in the next call, but making your list, and then is the next step is approach, right? So this is approaching somebody that is on your heart, right? Somebody that you're thinking about, somebody you're following up with. And the reminder in there is all there's a short video if you want to watch it from Anna McGuire, but all you're doing is looking for to see if their window is open, right? Where are they, right? Because again, Bill, like you could share today somebody's life is in a situation, maybe it doesn't land, but next time you share, they're in a pivotal situation, pivotal timing, and they're ready to listen. So I think
Yeah.
if we can take that yes, no, or no answer as okay, they're not ready to learn right now. Moving on, moving on. Pat.
I was just going to say I think that a lot of times, thinking about myself and receiving text, it's sometimes I just don't even, this is the ignoring answer to Frank, but I mean, there's a lot of times when I just absolutely forget. I'm driving, I read something, and then I never get back to it. So that's one reason. And then another reason is I think that so many people, when we're talking to past clients, they weren't successful and they just kind of immediately see my name. That's what I imagine. I don't know, but I'm imagining that they're like either not ready to get started again or think it didn't work for me. Even though they didn't work it right, I mean, we know, but, or they might have, it's the whole soy or, whatever their reasons for stopping, they just assume they already know the answer. And so they just don't even look any further. And ants, like Frank said, it would be really nice to, for them to tell you that, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of times they just don't.
Well, and I think that it's important to remember it's not a rejection of you, right?
Mhm.
They're rejecting the program. They're rejecting the opportunity to move forward with their own health. They're just not in a space that's a priority for them right now. And I agree with you. It feels so vulnerable, so vulnerable. So I would encourage, and Vicki, I want to hear what you have to say is like, are you confident in what you would or will say? Because things are different now. You're not circling back to offer them the same loop that they've been in before, especially if it was an inactive client. What you want to do is be able to share it in a way to show that you've got something different and something that can take them further this time. Vicki.
Well, I started to go through my previous clients and again, I had people roll up to me as well. So some of these names I don't know. And some of them actually I know who they are and I didn't realize that they were clients because I see them in Orange Theory, but I just picked out the names of people that I actually liked
Mhm.
that I would want to work with again. Because at the end of the day, if they're not interested or they're not responding, I don't want to work with a resistant client. Like, I don't want to talk anybody into anything. I don't have time for that. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I want to work with people that are excited about being on programs. So, I think there's also value. It used to be like, get as many people, get it, like let's like build. And I'm like, I'd rather have quality people that actually get results that organically give me referrals than deal with the person that is going to ghost me anyway when I try to call them for a weekly call. That's just kind of the way I've been looking at it.
That's being a 3.0 coach. That's a Trilogy coach, right? Like, if you think about it, we were kind of like, lose weight now, ask me how. We'd sign anybody up. It was like, oh, you got to lose 20 pounds. We can help you lose 20 pounds. Oh, well, that one bit the dust, and you move on. But it doesn't really help you build a quality business that way, right? Especially if we take people that aren't ready, because just like Pat said, they're never going to look and, in the mirror and say, well, it was totally me, totally my fault. They're just going to tell people, I tried that. It didn't work. The food's terrible, whatever, insert whatever reason fits. So I think that's it. And being more selective in who you bring in, both as a coach candidate and as a client candidate, because we're operating at a different level. We're operating at a different level. I've just had a conversation with somebody, a former client. She had reached to me, then we did a call last week, and she had lost about 100 pounds on program, didn't follow through, gained it all back, went on the GLP-1s, lost about 75 pounds, gained it all back. But in the meantime, she's gone through her own transformation, leaving corporate world, getting certified for life coaching. So now she's starting to see things different and doing things different. And so we were talking about the whole program. She's liking it all. And then I did bring up the idea of health coaching, and that immediate resistance went up, right? I know it's because of that vulnerability, this being scared of the accountability and all that. And I was like, just think about it. I know it's because what we resist is very often what we need. It just so happened Dr. A had a conscious leadership thing at noon. We were talking at like 11. And I said, hey, Dr. A, this is not Optavia specific, but he does a conscious leadership thing. He's going to talk about fear. I would love for you to hear it. This is right in your wheelhouse, whatever. Today, she just ordered her program today. And she said, what's a game changer for me? She said, was listening to that. And she said, you know what? I'm resisting coaching because I'm scared of the accountability, but like, I need to think about doing this different because what I did didn't work. So I mean, who knows where she'll go with it, but that's an example of following up with like what Vicky said, of somebody who's now ready to see things and do things differently. So, all right, let's talk about how we show up okay, so anyway, with your list, I would encourage you. So for next time, I encourage you to take 10 people. 10 people off your list. I mean, we probably should be moving at a faster pace. And if you want to do 20, do it but I don't want you to walk away from here and not do any, because 20 seems like too much. But if you're unsure of what to say, where to start, if you go to the business blueprint, I'm going to pull it up here, and Shauna's going to help us through a lot of that in our next meeting. All right. Can you see my screen with the Coach Hub up? So this is the approach section. So really an example of what it is that we're doing. So I'm going to let you guys read through that yourself, phone or in person examples. And then if you're not aware of this, each one of these, there's different categories. So there's something called strategize. So this actually will start to get into giving you some scripts and different things, practice, like text scripts you could use, things to reach out, execute. All right. Pick 10 names from your list for each person, decide how you're going to reach out to them, practice your approach. You can do it with me if you want, practice on your own, whatever it is. And I love this: block a time and go through your list in one session. Just eat the frog, just block it, do it. All right. And then I love that reminder, prepare mentally, detach from the outcome. All you're doing is sorting. You're not trying to sell anybody on this. So thoughts around that? Achievable? Pat, your hand is still up. Is that just, I can lower it for you if you want. All right. So, hey, Debbie. So that's going to be part of it, is that proactive thing. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Like last week, I had a couple people come back, ask me about things, and I forgot to write their names down. And then today I was like, okay, who were those two people? So have a system that you will, so that you can follow up. Like I reached out to them today, like, hey, today's launch day. It's exciting. I wanted to see if you had any questions from what I sent you, blah, blah, blah. So, all right. Let's talk about social media and what is our best strategy or our best things like for starting to share. Some of you guys already are doing it well. What's your response been, and where do you feel like you could use a little guidance or help?
I could use guidance on follow-up. So great, you liked my post, you commented on my post. Now what the heck do I do?
Okay,
Because I'm terrible about that.
Okay, that is actually in the hub. They actually have a scripts for that of what to do. Somebody commented or liked on it. So they actually give you, and I honestly wish I would have read it before I responded to my two people last week because it would have been a better approach. So let me get back over there. Let's see if I can get that up. I think I just minimized that screen. Shauna, do you have the Coach Hub available to pull up?
I do. I've got it down here. Do you
Can
want me
you
to
pull
share?
up the approach under
Okay.
business blueprint? I just closed that screen.
Okay.
An approach. And can you make it a little larger? Is that possible?
Is it not full screen for y'all?
Mm-mm. Can you guys see it okay? Yeah.
Full
Okay.
screen for me.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right. So would it be, I'm trying to remember.
Strategize. I think
Yeah.
there is a section that
There
she
is.
talks about. Yeah.
Well, there's a whole follow-up section too. There's a follow-up section down here, and they give a lot in there as well. And I'm almost thinking it's in the follow-up section. Did you see it in here?
No, I saw it under like strategize, I think.
Okay. All right.
I saw social media scripts, phone scripts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right here, our
That's it.
text scripts.
Right there it says liked your post under reactive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so right here. Is this full screen for everybody else?
No.
No. Oh my
Yeah, I'm having a hard time
But I can
seeing it.
I can actually,
But you can look
make-
on your own phone device as well.
I can make it bigger personally. I'm able to expand it.
because I can't make it any bigger on my screen. Oh,
Okay.
I just took it out, didn't I?
It's okay. I will get it back up on mine for the next one, but it's in there. Debbie, you have your hand up. Maybe you have something you can offer to help.
I don't know if this is because I know I'm very late coming to the meeting, but I wanted to say I used this. I used the strategize thing. I met at Finally Friday. This woman did a presentation and she turned out she was sitting right next to me. And when we did our 30 seconds of who we are and what we do, I sat down after I was done and she was like, I totally need to talk to you. And anyway, long story short, we decided to connect afterwards. And so I texted her and said, hey, I meant to reach out to you. And she was like, oh yeah. And so basically I sent the whole, before I share anything, I'm curious, what are you looking for? It was totally copy paste. And she gave me her answers. It was really good answers. I'm so glad she gave them. And then the next thing, I totally get it. That's totally doable, blah, blah, blah. That's totally from a copy paste. And then I added a little bit of my own stuff in there, but then she's like, I did the survey and then I sent her the copy paste and and then she said, I did a quick read, interesting. And so basically we agreed to talk on later. And she said, by the end of that, like connecting, she said, perfect. Thanks, Debbie. I have a good feeling about this plan and working with you. And I was like, oh, that is like the power of these, like, boom, boom, boom. These scripts are perfect. So yeah, I just want to say I like them a lot.
Good. So for everybody's reference, can you guys see my screen now with
Mhm.
it up? So if you look under, we are under the approach section. Under approach, we're under strategize. And if you scroll down to social media text scripts. So when somebody comments or messages, this is where it would have helped me to be like, hey, Jane, before I share anything, I'm curious, what are your main health goals right now? Or what prompted you to reach out? Something like that. Does that feel doable, Vicky, to work from something like this?
Um, yeah, I guess if they were commenting on what I posted about my 2 week, um, I I, I kind of like I almost like the second one better.
Yeah.
Kind of like, thanks for your, thank you so much for liking my post, because it's acknowledging, appreciating,
Mhm.
the support. And then just asking directly, because I have a hard time. I like to beat around the bush. I have a hard time being that direct.
Yeah, I love that one. And that's the exact reaction, right? When someone reacts to a health related post
Mhm.
and then they're saying to do, um, you know what I mean? Like I'm just curious, were you, that or are you interested in learning more? Would you like, or are you just showing support?
Mhm.
Perfect. Perfect. And once you've taken it behind scenes in a private message, that's where they're more likely
Right.
to offer up. We can come back to this next week. I just wanted to share a little bit, some personal thoughts and some my own personal conversations with my business manager, Chat GPT. I saw so many people posting about the new product release. And we have 26 new products and lots of pictures of all the boxes and lots of pictures of this and that and the other thing. And the one thing I was always taught is we're not product pushers.
Right.
We don't, it's not about the bar. I don't think anybody opens it up and says, oh my God, you have a chocolate mint bar. They'll sign me up. Like that's just not, I mean, are they curious? What will they be eating? Yes. Is there a place for it? But it can't be the whole focus
Right.
or just coming out with a chat graphic saying, hey, I'm a metabolic health coach. I can help you. Um, People are not waking up in the morning saying, wow, I really need to work on my metabolic health. They're struggling with a particular problem. So that problem might be, and I'll give you an example. I went to a networking meeting, started to share with somebody what I do, and she said, oh, I know a girl named Julie. I'm going to sign up for her program. She told me she helps people who struggle or struggling or just being diagnosed with blood pressure or cholesterol and don't want to go on medications. And that was her problem. Exactly. So Julie spoke to her problem. And so on social, and I can share a slide in our group because we're running short on time, but we want to be speaking to problems and emotion, and then be bringing in how our metabolic program can solve that
Mhm.
because we are problem solvers. We are problem solvers. We are problem solvers.
Mhm.
So if we can keep that in mind and always go for the problem, that's where it's going to keep you also from feeling like you're selling, and that you feel that icky feeling you're solving somebody's problem. All right. Thank you to those guys who just came in. Let me stop this recording. That was our builder circle.